What's up, guys? Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our team builder for week 7 of the NCL Season 4, where you're taking on Haamu and the Helsinki Heat. Fuck this matchup, by the way, and yeah, that's all I have to say before we get into it. So, starting off, Haamu's team, he's got the Tapu Fini, Volcarona, Heliolisk, Alolan Muck, Swellow, Abomasnow, Mega Scizor, Hippowdon, Kommo-o, Espeon, and Lycanroc Midday. He's got priority options in Muck with Shadow Snake, Swellow with Quick Attack, Abomasnow with Ice Shard, Mega Scizor with Bullet Punch and Quick Attack technically, Espeon technically with Quick Attack, and Lycanroc Midday with Accelerock and Sucker Punch. Hazard setters, he's got the Hippowdon with Rocks, Kommo-o with Rocks, and Lycanroc with Rocks, so it's nothing like last season where he just obliterated me with Spike Stack plus Curse Muck. Removal options wise, he's got the Fini with Defog, Volcarona with Defog, Swellow with Defog, Mega Scizor with Defog, and the Espeon, of course, to try and stop hazards from going up. Pardon me. Fourth time's weaknesses, he's got the Volcarona weak to Rock, Abomasnow and Mega Scizor both weak to Fire, and Kommo-o weak to Fairy. In terms of what I think he's going to bring, I have no fucking idea. I think absolutely anything on his team could come against me in various forms. I think that the Lycanroc Midday is maybe not one of the best options against me, but he might be really scared of Talonflame, which you can obviously see Talonflame on your screen. Actually, you can't. It's hidden by the logo. But Talonflame's coming. Talonflame is coming this week for the first time this season. Week 7 is all it took me to bring Talonflame. I still haven't brought Masquerain, but that's fine. It's a support option for the team. Yeah, so I think absolutely anything is going to come. I think Mega Scizor is 100% coming for the Mega Diancie. I think Volcarona is 100% coming for the Buzzwole. I wouldn't even be surprised if the Volcarona was just a bulkier variant. Pardon me. He'd want to bring something for the Hoopa, probably the Alolan Muck for the Hoopa, just as like, or maybe the Tapu Fini for the Hoopa instead. Yeah, there's a few other things that put on a lot of pressure on my team. I'm not entirely sure if he's going to bring the sand or not, because my Garchomp can also abuse the sand, which we're going to try and do. I'm not sure what else he would be scared of. Swellow's obviously really threatening against me. Abomasnow is really, really, really threatening against me. So there's only so many ways that he can go about this, but I'm not thrilled about the options that I have to deal with his team. Pardon me. So that's pretty much it. In terms of what I think about his team, again, I think absolutely anything could come. Kommo-o is the kill leader in the entire league, so don't be surprised if it shows up. I'm not packing any fairy coverage for it, though, because I'm not bringing my Mega Diancie. So I've got the rock covered once, and I've got the fire covered a couple times, I believe, for the Abomasnow and Scizor, but I'm not covering Kommo-o's 4x fairy weakness at all. So first up on my side is Clang the Bronzong. Bring a Heat-proof Bronzong for the Volcarona and the Swellow. This kind of indefinitely walls the Swellow, and Abomasnow, if it wants to run HP Fire, would just be a choke. I think it's better for him if he wants to run like HP Ghost or HP Dark on Abomasnow to hit me. Otherwise, he's getting walled. If the Espeon's running without Shadow Ball, which it shouldn't be, but if it is, then I wall that as well. Mega Scizor without knockoff. I mean, it's kind of a blanket check to a lot of mons, because it's, in theory, it's a blanket check to the Lycanroc as well. Although I'm obviously weak to Drill Run, he won't know that right off the bat. So there's a few options for me in terms of the Bronzong. It's my rocker for the week. I think I'm going to put a relatively high priority on getting rocks up against him. The problem being is that Espeon just comes in for free against me, so Gyro Ball's there. You know, I can prioritize, in quotations, getting rocks up, but if Espeon's coming, then I can't just click them outright. So I've got Rock Slide there for the Volcarona as well, in case I live the fire move. I should be able to live the fire move because I'm heat-proof, and then I should be able to kill it with Rock Slide. In theory, I should be able to kill it with Rock Slide. I'm not invested at all. I didn't calc it at all, so I should just need maybe a little bit of chip on it to get the Rock Slide kill. Maybe if he decides to set up on me, I can get 2 Rock Slides in, or maybe an HP Fire into a Rock Slide to kill. I'd have to calc that in game. I've got HP Fire on there for the Abomasnow and the Mega Scizor. Again, same thing. Really more for the Abomasnow. Looking at it. Pardon me. Really more for the Abomasnow looking at it. Because this is a switch into Abomasnow, whereas Vaporeon is going to be probably one of my main switch-ins to the Mega Scizor. Yeah, so that's kind of what the Bronzong sets there for. It's kind of randomly EV'd in terms of defense investment. I put max HP and then I just split the defense a little bit. I knew I didn't need max SPDF this matchup, so I wanted to have a little bit of physical bulk on there. Excuse me, should let me take on a physical Abomasnow a little bit better, but this is kind of a flat wall to Abomasnow. Having not looked at its moveset at all, I'm not confident whatsoever that it doesn't get away to hit me, but if it's relying on HP Fire, then I know I'm fine. Vaporeon's next. This is a physically defensive wall, so aiming to take on Como and the Mega Scizor with this, and the Muck with this, realistically, also the Lycanroc and the Hippowdon. All of those is what this is meaning to do. I've got Roar to get rid of any of his setup sweepers. It'd be really obnoxious if they were going to try and set up on me. Only issue with that is the Espeon. So if he's a Calm Mind Espeon, he can kind of set up on me for free because I have nothing to touch it but Scald. And he might have like Morning Sun. So I've got Wish Protect on here just to get myself healthy and also to pass Wishes into the Bronzong. I think it's going to be really important. It's going to be really important to pass Wishes into the Bronzong. And then I've got Scald as the last move just because it's the best option. I don't care if he's got Misty Terrain. I really would rather rely on Scald than Surf because if the Misty Terrain turns are gone, I would love to burn the Muck or the Scizor. Luckily for me, I will benefit from Misty Terrain as well, so I won't be able to be poisoned by the Alolan Muck if he's a Poison Touch variant, or Toxic by anything, which really makes Vaporeon a lot easier to play around this game when he can't Toxic me back. It means I didn't have to run Heal Bell, essentially. Yeah, fully physically defensive, that's all there is to it. Hoopa, I'm running a Z Snatch set. This was suggested by Jed. I originally had Z Trick because Z Zen Headbutt just fucking nukes something. If your name isn't Alolan Muck, which is immune, or Mega Scizor, which still takes over half, you're dying to a Z Zen Headbutt on his team. It was quite ridiculous, actually, how much damage that was doing with Adamant. And I can afford to be Adamant because his speed tiers are kind of weird, where everything is like naturally faster than Hoopa in most cases. So I could have put a lot more bulk in, but I'm running very little and I'm running enough speed here. So I believe I should outspeed Scarf Swallow. I should outspeed Scarf Swallow at +2, which would be the fastest thing on his team. So I should be able to outspeed absolutely everything once I get a Z Snatch off. There's a lot of things I could steal. I'm not sure what his plan would be, but I could potentially steal a Curse from the Muck, which would be absolutely devastating for him. It would be absolutely devastating for him. I could steal a Curse from the Scizor potentially if he predicts me to switch and goes for Curse over U-turn or something. Calm Mind from the Espeon would just give me a SPDF boost. Yeah, there's a wide variety of things that I could steal against his team. And so that Jed suggested switching to Z Snatch. The only problem now is that I'm not running a Dark type move, because I looked and Zen Headbutt hits his team a lot better than Hyperspace Fury would, and I don't want to lower my defense all the time, so we're running the Zen Headbutt over the Hyperspace Fury, which means I don't have an attacking Z move, so it's only a support Z move this week. I would have liked to have the option with Z Trick there, but oh well, can't do much about it. Again, that's the speed for Swallow. Fire Punch is going to obliterate the Mega Scizor. Adamant Fire Punch just fucking decimates it if he's no bulk. Granted, if he's no bulk, he'll probably outspeed me, which would really suck. Because I am running, I'm not running a flat amount of speed to outspeed Mega Scizor, but I am running enough to outspeed Adamant Mega Scizor with this. I should outspeed a no-speed Tapu Fini as well, very, very reliably. I should outspeed no-speed Volcarona very reliably. I should actually look. I don't know if I would outspeed no-speed Heliolisk with this, but there's all of those in mind. I'm outspeeding max speed Abomasnow still with this investment, so it kind of hits a lot of areas for me that I wouldn't necessarily think about. Focus Punch is mainly there for the Muck, just because I can't hit it with the Zen Headbutt, and I figured I would kind of like try and Focus Punch on the switch. Like anything that would be threatened by Hoopa, right? Like an Espeon. If he's scared of me being Scarf Hoopa, then I feel like he'd switch, and I could Focus Punch on the switch, and that'd be kind of flames. But yeah, it's really only there for... You know what? I don't like it anymore. I really don't like the Focus Punch anymore, because it puts me in a really bad spot. So I'm just going to run the Drain Punch instead. It's going to work out a little bit better. Or I could run the Gunk Shot instead, and rely on the rest of my team to deal with Muck. I'm not a big fan of that, though. I'll run the Drain Punch instead. Just changing it up at the last second here. I'd much rather have the healing. on something like Abomasnow or Heliolisk anyways. And the Lycanroc. Yeah, okay, so that's Hoopa. You know, it's not necessarily, it's meant to break here. It's not meant to sweep necessarily, but I can put myself in a position where I could sweep with C-Snatch. Otherwise, I could put myself in a position where I put a lot of pressure on him by clicking Z-Snatch and just outspeeding his whole team in general. Starmie here, I'm running a Life Orb set, Life Orb Analytic with Recover, Scald, HP Fire, and Psychic. I'm not running Removal. Because I need the coverage. Honestly, that's kind of the only reason. I wanted Psychic for the Kommo-o, and it's sort of a nice blanket click against a lot of other mons on this team, like the Starmie. So rather than running Dazzling Gleam specifically for the Kommo-o, I figured I'd run the Psychic, because it is more of a blanket check against him. And then I've got Scald and HP Fire on there as well. So Scald is obviously... and you know, I'm going to change Scald because we're relying on Tapu Fini here. So I'm going to change it to Surf, HP Fire, and Psychic. HP Fire obviously there for the Abomasnow, which would, in my opinion, would be the best Starmie switch-in on his team. Everything else kind of just doesn't switch into it very well. Tapu Fini potentially, the Muck potentially. Muck's probably going to come in and Pursuit Trap me, so I'm going to play around that a little bit in terms of him doubling. I figure he actually might be Assault Vest Muck this week to be able to switch into things like Starmie and Mega Diancie and Rotom a little bit better. And Special Hoopa as well. And then, yeah, Mega Scissor will get bopped by an HP Fire as well. I resist Bullet Punch, so I'm not scared about it at all. Garchomp, I'm running a Scarf Garchomp with Sand Veil, so I can abuse his Sand if I need to. Obviously, I can't punish things with Rough Skin this way, but I'd rather have the Sand Veil evasion boost, I think. Just running 4-attack Scarf with Earthquake, Rock Slide, Poison Jab, Fire Blast. Fire Blast, obviously, there for the Mega Scizor. Hopefully, I don't have to be in a spot where I have to click it. Rock Slide, obviously, there for the Volcarona, and I guess the Swellow, because I don't really have anything better to hit it with. And then I've got Poison Jab there for the, or Fire Blast also for the Abomasnow, but Poison Jab will hit that too. Poison Jab for the Fini and the Abomasnow, and then Earthquake for everything else. So, Garchomp's going to be put in a tough spot where I'm going to have to make predictions, and I don't like it too much, but it's a reliable way to outspeed a lot of his team. I would actually like to have Dragon coverage on this. The question is, do I need the Rock Slide for the Volcarona or not? I am outspeeding Volcarona. Let me just calc this really quickly, because I feel like I should have thought of this when I was prepping. Garchomp, like an offensive rocker against Volcarona. Bulky Quiver Dance. Yeah, I mean, Earthquake's two-shotting a bulky variant. Earthquake's two-shotting a bulky variant. If I have Rocks Up, it's dead for sure. If he's, like, offensive, then Earthquake's doing 74 to 88. And so it's not really worth my time having a Rock Slide on this set, I don't think. I'd rather have a Dragon move. I do think I'd rather have a Dragon move, because I just need a tiny bit of chip for Earthquake to kill it. And at +1, Bug Buzz isn't killing me from full. Right? Unless he's modest. Yeah, he'd have to be modest Z to kill me from full with this Volcarona. I'm 16. So it's doing like 78 to 92. +1 modest Bug Buzz from Volcarona. I don't actually have Force Spit F, so I can change roll. Yeah, 78.9 to 93, sorry. But, you know, irrelevant. I'd rather have the Dragon move to hit the Kommo-o with... actually, I will do that. Just because it's going to hit a lot of other stuff a lot harder later on in the game. Potentially a way to break through Hippowdon. Realistically, Vaporeon is my best way to break through Hippowdon and just kind of sit on top of its face. Although Hippo can sit there and do nothing against it, I guess, as well. Yeah, Hippowdon's going to be a gigantic issue. Starmie is going to be one of my ways to break through it as well. Last but not least is Talonflame. Running a Citrus Berry Flame Body set, so this is also a potential Scizor switch-in, potential Kommo-o switch-in. Kommo-o is really doing not that much to me, unless he's got the Rock Slide, which would be scary, but I can always roost on it because I should be faster than Kommo-o. What else am I doing? Swellow, potentially, if he's physical. Pardon me. Potentially the Swellow if he's physical. Lycanroc midday would be a pain in the ass for this, and so I'm hoping that it doesn't show, because otherwise this can put in a lot of work. Same with Heliolisk would be a big pain in the ass for this, but I haven't brought Talonflame all season, so why would he expect it, right? Roost, Bulk Up, Acro, and Taunt. So I'm running even amount of HP so that Rocks will trigger my Citrus Berry. And then I will have an acrobatic, fully powered up acrobatics for the entire game. He just really needs to weaken me a tiny little bit, but a bulk up set actually kind of just like demolishes this team. There's not a whole lot that the special attackers can do to me. I kind of naturally resist a lot of what Volcarona wants to do, so he'd have to go for an HP Rock and max HP Talonflame, probably choose at least one. Swellow, you know, I outspeed Swellow, so like a Specs Boom Burst variant I can always roost on. Or he'll proc my thing, and then acrobatics will be really fucking strong. Espeon, potentially, but again, I outspeed it, so unless he's a Scarf variant, we're not going to depths there. Tapu Fini is interesting because if he wants to try and Nature's Madness me to wear me down, I can just taunt him, and then my taunt will stop him from taunting me from setting up as well. Which is kind of why I have the taunt there. It's also a way to prevent rocks from Hippowdon potentially. You know, he might have the rock slide on that, but once I get a bulk up, I can live hits fairly reliably on that side of things. Because I'm max HP, I didn't actually calc how much Lycanroc's going to be doing to me with 252. Lycanroc midday. I wanted to see how much it was going to do to me with an Accelerock. So he isn't actually killing me. It's a roll to kill me right off the bat. It's a 43.8% chance Doko. So it's a roll in my favor from Jolly Lycanroc to kill me with a Accelerock. And then once I get a bulk up off, it's doing 60 to 71. So I'm not necessarily in a position where I can go about my day and none. Whoops, I want no item. Not in a position where I can go about my day and think of that, but yeah, acrobatics isn't doing all that much back. I'm not even Gale Wings, so I don't know why it's saying Gale Wings on the thing, but you know, I'm not doing all that much back with acrobatics, and Stone Edge is still killing me. Even if I get to +2 defense, Stone Edge is still going to kill me. So the Lycanroc's definitely kind of a pain in the ass, and I'd rather not deal with it. Enough speed on the Talonflame for the Swellow. Yep, Swellow. Starmie's outspeeding Lycanroc, by the way. And I think that's all I had to say about that. In terms of not bringing Buzzwole was on my radar. It's definitely got a solid matchup here. Bigger problem was the Mega Scizor. I believe off the top of my head, Buzzwole doesn't get Fire Punch. So Mega Scizor's a problem in that regard, because I'd have to just click like Superpower or something against it. Same with the Muck. I mean, it's kind of easy to break through Muck with Buzzwole, but it really baits in mons like Swellow and Volcarona on the Switch, or Espeon, so I didn't want to bait those in. I didn't really have a great way of beating Hippowdon with it without being like a Toxic Sub-Roost set. And Toxic Sub-Roost only lets me run one attack, which would probably be fucking Drain Punch, I guess. And then, yeah, it's a problem for a lot of stuff, and Tapu Fini just beats that set entirely. Amoonguss was an option for his special offense, but it was a really bad option for his special offense because Espeon, Volcarona, and Swellow all pick on it, and I'm not about that life. Rotom Frost was all right, not fantastic, not horrible. I don't know, yeah, same sort of thing. Mega Diancie was cool as a Kommo and Volcarona like answer, and I think it's one of the reasons that he would want to bring Sand, or at least Lycanroc, but it just drops to Bullet Punch from Mega Scizor, and I wasn't in a position where I can give him free momentum like that. Masquerain, I didn't really need webs against his team all that much. Webs could have been nice here, but again, the Espeon's kind of a pain in the ass, and Masquerain, while it did have somewhat of an offensive matchup outside of just setting up webs, I really felt like there were better options. Like the Talonflame set that I have, I think can put in a lot of work if it goes in. So, yeah, that's gonna be for me. This has been really long, and apologize. I just woke up to record this, so I'm not of the right mind and body at the moment. But there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully you'll enjoy the match.